An artist's imagination can run wild, in a good way of course. And by wild, I mean the possibilities an artist can think of and explore are limitless. Those often find themselves on the canvas for a good chunk of fine artists in the form of subjects, mediums and themes such as societal issues, which the following artist has opted to explore. Let's take a look at what she creates. Enjoy! As is the case for many artists, the art is often an infinite journey of discovery. As they grow, so does their art and what they paint about.
I've noticed I really have like a really active imagination, and I try to come up with a story. So most of my pieces are conceptual. The theme I haven't fully put my foot down on which, but I do want to do more of social themes based with people. So I'm not too selfish in my art. And that way, those themes can also reflect to those people who are watching so that they can realize, oh, that's me depicted in a different way.
The decision to pursue art as a course for her university education ensured she garnered all the perks that came with pursuing art as a course.
Studying did help because I did get to learn more skills than I thought I needed. So in terms of skills, I did learn more. And there's that pressure and competition when you're in school. So because there are deadlines and other people are way better than you, you realize, okay, I need to pick up. So that's where it did help academically. And also you do realize that there's a different side of art. Because when you're outside, there's a lot of commercial, how can I use this? Why should I have this? But when you're in school, you realize it's more about expression. What can you do? What type of style are you? Which way do you want to go? So in terms of all those, that's how academics did help. And for me, my advantage is my imagination. It's a bit grand. And also, I like to think through things a lot. So I think because I consider conceptual artworks, that could be my edge. In that my artwork, as much as it's pleasing, it has a story.
The first thing she does when she gets an idea is to jot it down promptly, then later works on augmenting what she thought about.
First thing I do when I get this amazing idea, I jot it down. I make sure I make a record of it because ideas, they just pass by, just like a dream. So I make sure I write down what it is and I break down what did I see in this idea. Is it going to be 2D or 3D? And if it's going to be 2D, how do I make that composition make sense? Because yes, I could make something that's very crazy, but also have to consider the audience. I don't want to put something that's too heavy that they kind of shy away from it. So I do break down to the key features that make sense, that are recognizable by the audience. And then slowly that's when I can come up with now the sketch, colors, and then now I can now consider in terms of the mediums and do I want to put texture or not. So it does have a process to it, yeah. Sometimes I get them from observation, from like where I can travel. Like let's say, for example, if I pass through Githurai, I could see someone who's vending and it could come up with a story, and that way I would think about it, do several sketches, plan out the colors and the proportions, and also look at like what materials do I have and what I can do. So most cases it's observational, but sometimes it's spontaneous. There's just ideas that just pop out. It could be anything that triggers it.
In this digital era, networking with other creatives and getting clients is a gap that has been bridged by use of social media, which has had a huge impact on her art.
It has come through in that as much as I'm able to expose my art, I've seen other people's work, which honestly traditionally you wouldn't be able to see. So being able to share information, that's how it's impacted me. Also, it has swayed my style of art to, as I've said, consider the audience. So from that, yes, it has influenced. It's also helped in engaging with clients directly. So there are those clients who do DM me and tell me, yo, I like your work, can we do this? So that's something that's helped.
Like any other field, art too is typified by a lot of fluctuations. During her low moments, however, the artist tries to keep herself preoccupied with things that replenish her creativity.
I make sure I don't suffer alone. So, like, if let's say for a long time I haven't been called for exhibitions, my clients aren't talking, I'm still gonna push myself to go to an exhibition, to go to an event, see someone, something. And from there, that's when I can like kind of reflect and realize, okay, I'm not on my own. There are other people who are still moving. I should also get up and start moving. And now in terms of inspiration, if I get that artist block, I go back to things which have really fascinated me. For example, animated music videos. There's sound, there are all this imagery that's happening. So there's some videos I do like looking at because they help. And also there's some artists I do follow, I kind of aspire. So from them, that's when I can kind of try to bring back that imagination, bring back those ideas. And that's where I can get back into now, oh yeah, I can come up with this, not. Last one is I do go back to my old ideas. Because since I have so many, I couldn't have implemented everything. So I go back and see which idea can I at least try to start right now? Can I revive? And then from that, that's when I'm like, okay, this can be a new project. So if I can distract myself from that depression, I can pull myself out. My artist name is Wamagi. So you will find me on Instagram. That's wa.ma.gi. You can also see my work on Behance. That's where I have my portfolio of all my works and everything. And in terms of spaces, I'm mostly in some of the exhibitions, but slowly we'll get there, we'll get a studio.
We will